not subscribed to our channel, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button as shown above. Hello friends, welcome to Kamath Astrology. A very important transit has happened today on 17 January 2023. That is, Saturn has now entered the sign of Aquarius and he will remain there till 29th March 2025. That is for a period of 2.5 years. Now, we have already done a video earlier explaining the general effects of this transit on the world and India in particular. However, in this video, we will focus on the ascendant-wise analysis impact of this transit. That is, what is the impact of this transit on every ascendant. Now, when I say what is the impact of this transit on every ascendant, it means that people born with a particular ascendant will have certain common effects. However, every horoscope is unique, so most of these effects will apply to the people born with that ascendant. But depending on the individual horoscope, certain things may not occur. Now you have to analyze the impact based on the lagna or the ascendant with which you are born. In your horoscope, look at the square which shows lagna or ASC. So let's begin with the Aries ascendant or the Mesh lagna. Now for the Aries ascendant or Mesh lagna, Saturn is transiting from the 10th house of Capricorn into the 11th house of Aquarius. And this transit is very good for you on the professional front. It brings you a lot of wealth. It generates a lot of income for you. However, you need to be careful on the health front because Saturn aspects the sign of Aries or Mesh, which is your ascendant representing your physical body. Also, with respect to your children, with respect to any romantic love affairs, you will need to be very careful. Saturn puts the 7th aspect on the sign of Leo, which is your 5th house. And Saturn also aspects the 8th house of Scorpio or Vrishicka. And therefore, sudden events can disturb your health. There could be sudden events that will impact you in a major way. So, for the Aries ascendant, the transit is good for the professional front and for an increase in income. But on the health front, with respect to love affairs, love life, and sudden events happening, you need to be very careful. For the Taurus ascendant or Vrushabh lagna, this transit happens in your 10th house of profession, of career, and Saturn being in the own 10th house definitely gives you progress in career, but initially things may move a bit slowly. Aquarius is also the sign of humanitarian activities, working with large organizations, idea generation, and Saturn does extremely well here. So on the professional front, you will find yourself doing very well in this time period. However, expenses will be on the higher side because Saturn aspects the 12th house of Aries, which represents your expenses. Saturn also aspects the 4th house of Leo. So on the home front, domestic affairs, you could face certain delays, certain challenges. And Saturn aspects your 7th house of marriage and partnerships, that is the sign of Scorpio. So this is one area where you may face major upheavals, major challenges, because Scorpio is also the natural 8th house in the zodiac belt. And for your ascendant, this is the 7th house of partnerships, which indicates problems in partnerships and married life in this time period. But again, on the professional front, you will do very well. Now, for the Gemini ascendant or Mithun Lagna, Saturn is moving from the 8th house of Capricorn into the 9th house of Aquarius. And 9th house represents teachers, represents gurus, represents foreign lands, represents foreign journeys. It also represents destiny and fate. So, in this time period, relationship with your guru, with your teachers, with your bosses will be good. However, since Saturn is transiting from the 8th into the 9th house, the health of father can be a bit problematic, especially if you have Saturn transiting over natal Ketu in Aquarius. Saturn aspects your 11th house of income, that is the sign of Mesh, and therefore there will be some slowdown in the income, or expenses will be on the higher side because Mars is also in your 12th house. Relationship with siblings, relationship with neighbors can come under stress in this time period. Saturn puts the aspect on the 6th house of Scorpio for your ascendant, and therefore you need to take extreme care of your own health. Hidden enemies can bother you in this time period. Conflicts can bother you in this time period. Worship Hanuman in this time period, and things will be good for the Gemini ascendant or the Mithun Lagna. Now, for the Cancer ascendant or Kark Lagna, Saturn moves from the 7th house of Capricorn into the 8th house of Aquarius or Kumbh. 8th house represents transformations, represents ups and downs, represents occult sciences, represents research. And Saturn here will encourage you to research more, to study more, and to bring out hidden things. So, from that perspective, this transit is very good for you. If you are due for an inheritance or insurance money, that will also come easily to you in this time period. However, Saturn aspects your 10th house of career, your profession, and therefore on the professional front, there could be challenges, there could be some delays and obstacles. Saturn also aspects the 2nd house of finances, that is the sign of Leo. So some struggle will be there on the financial front. Saturn also aspects the 5th house of Scorpio, which represents children, which represents romance, which represents love affairs. So if there are any hidden love affairs, Saturn will bring them out in this time period. And you need to be careful with respect to the health of children, as well as any romantic love affairs, hidden affairs, extramarital affairs. If you have any, they will be exposed in this time period. So for the Cancer ascendant, a good time for doing research, good time for getting some inheritance, good time for getting insurance money, also a good time for learning occult things, learning things such as astrology. This is a good transit. Now for the Leo ascendant or Sinha Lagna, Saturn is entering in your 7th house. So you will benefit from long-term partnerships. On the married life front also, there will be good progress in this time period. However, you need to be careful with respect to the health of your father and relationship with gurus in this time period, because Saturn is putting the aspect on the sign of Mesh, which represents your 9th house, and you can already see Rahu present there. So false gurus can cheat you in this time period. Be careful on that front. Saturn also aspects your ascendant. So on the health front, again, you need to be very careful. Saturn aspects the 4th house of Scorpio or Vrishicka. So be careful while you are driving your vehicle with respect to the health of your mother. and also with respect to any hidden property deals which you may be making in this time period. So be careful with respect to property matters mainly, as some issues can come on that front in this time period. Now for the Virgo ascendant or Kanya Lagna, Saturn is now transiting in the 6th house of Aquarius or Kumbh, and therefore it gives you the power to overcome competition, to overcome diseases. However, it will give you few hidden enemies in this time period. Saturn aspects your 8th house of Aries or Mesh, and therefore there will be a lot of transformation happening in your life in this time period. Some chronic diseases can bother you in this time period. Expenses will be on the higher side because Saturn aspects the 12th house of Leo or Sinha. Relationship with neighbors, with siblings can be a bit stressful in this time period, as Saturn puts the aspect on the sign of Scorpio or Vrishicka. For the Libra ascendant or Tula Lagna, Saturn is now transiting in the 5th house of love, romance and children. So it will give you good results on this front. You have a 6th house Jupiter transiting right now, and that is not good from a health perspective. Even in the Lagna you have Ketu right now. So you need to take extreme care of your own health in this time period. Income may decrease in this time period, expenses will increase in this time period because Saturn is now aspecting Leo. Leo is your 11th house of wishes, hopes and aspirations. So there could be some delay in getting what you wish in this time period because Saturn is now glancing the 11th house. Also on the financial front, you will face certain stress because Saturn puts the aspect on the sign of Scorpio or Vrishicka, which is your 2nd house of finances and family. And on the marriage front, on the partnership front, there could be certain delays as Saturn is aspecting the 7th house of Aries or Mesh, which represents your partnerships, your married life. Now let us move to the Scorpio ascendant or Vrishicka Lagna. Now for the Scorpio ascendant or Vrishicka Lagna, Saturn is entering in the 4th house of Aquarius or Kumbh. So on the domestic front, this is a good transit. If you are buying a new house, if you want to buy a new vehicle, this is a good time to go for it. However, Saturn puts an aspect on the 6th house of Mesh, and therefore certain conflicts, certain hidden enemies, certain diseases can bother you in this time period. Saturn also aspects the 10th house of career, that is the sign of Leo. So on the professional front, you might experience certain delays, certain hurdles, certain obstacles. Saturn puts the aspect on the ascendant. So again, with respect to your health, be very careful. Now for the Sagittarius ascendant or Dhanu Lagna, Saturn will now transit through the 3rd house of Aquarius or Kumbh, which represents the subconscious mind, which represents siblings, which represents neighbors, which represents short distance journeys. So if you are undertaking short distance journeys, this is a good time. Relationship with siblings will also improve in this time period. Saturn puts an aspect on the 5th house of Mesh, and 5th house is the house of love and romance. So on this front, you will face certain challenges. Saturn aspects the 9th house of Leo. So health of father can be a bit challenging in this time period. Relationship with gurus can also experience certain hurdles in this time period. Long distance journeys, you may face visa delays in this time period. And Saturn aspects the 12th house of Scorpio, so expenses will be on the higher side. Sudden expenses can come because Scorpio is the sign of suddenness and this is your 12th house. So a sudden increase in expenses can happen in this time period. Now for the Capricorn ascendant or Makar Lagna, Saturn is transiting in own second house of Aquarius. So it will increase your wealth, it will increase your finances. On the family front also, things will be better in this time period. However, Saturn aspects the fourth house of Mesh or Aries. So be careful while driving vehicles. If you are constructing a new house, buying a new vehicle, again this Saturn can give certain hurdles, certain delays to you. Saturn also aspects your 8th house of Leo or Sinha. And Leo is the sign which represents fire. It is ruled by the sun and therefore be careful while dealing with electrical equipment because you are prone to fire accidents in this time period because of this aspect of Saturn. Saturn also aspects the 11th house of Scorpio or Vrishicka. So certain wishes, hidden wishes which you have, there might be some delay in fulfilling those wishes, those aspirations, those hopes. So be patient in this time period. The best remedy for you is to chant the Hanuman Chalisa every evening. Now for the Aquarius ascendant, Saturn now enters in your first house and that is a very good thing because you now have the ascendant lord in the first house itself. So this does overall good to you. However, Saturn aspects the third house of Mesh. So while going on short distance journeys, you might experience certain delays. Your relationship with respect to siblings may come under strain in this time period. Saturn aspects the 7th house of Leo, which represents your partnerships, your married life. So on that front also certain stress, certain strain is expected. Saturn aspects the 10th house of Scorpio, which represents your work environment, your profession, your career. So hidden issues on the professional front may bother you in this time period. But overall, Saturn being the ascendant lord, transiting the ascendant is a good thing. You will get good results but with a delay. Now for the Pisces ascendant or Meen Lagna, Saturn is now transiting in the 12th house of Aquarius or Kumbh. And therefore, expenses are going to increase in this time period. You might have to travel to a distant land or a foreign place in this time period. Now, Saturn aspects your second house of finances, that is Mesh. So it clearly shows an increase in expenses, lot of money going out, and certain challenges in the family environment. Saturn aspects the 6th house of Leo, so hidden enemies, conflicts, diseases can bother you in this time period. Don't be over competitive in this time period, learn to be patient. Saturn aspects the 9th house of Scorpio, which again represents the father, the guru, the teachers, foreign journeys. So you may experience delays while going on foreign journeys, visa problems, and problems with respect to the health of father or relationship with guru and teacher in this time period. So friends, that's all from my end. For any queries, please write to us at astrosevaworld@yahoo.com and we'll be glad to assist you. So friends, thanks a lot. Bye. Take care and stay safe.